So today I am here with a good friend of mine, Chase the Dark Sage. So excited to be doing this collaboration. And you know how I usually do my apple cider and all of that, but today we're gonna have a little bit of yin, a little bit of yang. We got the hot, we got the cold, we got the super chill, amazing Chase the Dark Sage I'm collabing with today. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic. Got my apple cider here, ready, you know?
Ice cold water.
Perfection.
Let's drink a beverage to Komi Can't Communicate.
Let's drink a beverage to Komi Can't Communicate.
All right, guys. So today we will be talking about our top 5 moments of Komi Can't Communicate. Now, recently I've gotten into the series, I believe starting last month with the physical releases in English, or the English serialization. And honestly, I gotta say that this series has been a blast to read through, especially for a rom-com, because usually I'm a Shonen Jump buff, but I have a soft spot in my heart for some of these rom-coms right here, like Komi Can't Communicate, Rent a Girlfriend, the series that you like, Kaguya-sama Love is War, which you talk about a lot on your channel. So, talking about Komi Can't Communicate, oh, I've been waiting to do this, especially with my good friend here, a man who is a aficionado of Komi Can't Communicate, as I might want to say.
Well, thank you. I've been trying to read it for the last year, and just a few months ago I decided to catch up, and it has been a phenomenal ride. Oh man. But we're not gonna get too far into it, because I know that the anime is coming out and the physical volumes have only released up to volume 13. So we're gonna talk about our top 5 moments in Komi Can't Communicate up to where the physical releases are right now as of June 2021. And we have our top 5 moments picked, and we want to dive right in with you to encourage you guys as to some of the highlight moments you can expect from Komi Can't Communicate.
Now guys, before we get into the video, you already know that we have to do our usual YouTuber spiel. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, go ahead, hit your boy with the subscribe, and hit your boy Applebob with the subscribe as well, and hit the post notification bell. Like the video, that way this video can be shared throughout the algorithm, and just go ahead, comment your thoughts on Komi Can't Communicate wherever you're at right now. Like we said earlier, we're going to be discussing up to volume 13, so not too many spoilers from Applebob's perspective, because this man is he's a Chadley man, and he's all the way up to communication 300.
307 to be exact.
God. See, this man is a mad lad, but I am only up to, I believe, 170s, 180s, since I am reading the physical copies of Komi. And if you have not already, guys, and you want to support your boys even further than, you know, doing the usual YouTube stuff, we both do have a Patreon. Links will be in the description down below to support both of us as well, because content, it's hard to make, but it's really fun to do, and we both love doing what we do, and that's why I definitely had to have my boy on this video right here. And lastly, if you haven't already, follow us on all of our social medias. All the links will be in the description down below. And usually, Applebob, when I start these videos off, I do a little clap to insinuate the start of the actual video. So all my links and all of Applebob's links will be in the description down below. So Komi Can't Communicate. I've been waiting to talk to somebody about this, because I don't really find a lot of people into this series until I actually made a review of it on my channel. But obviously, I've been on YouTube for a while, been searching people up who watch these series, rom-coms like Nagatoro, Uzaki-chan, Rent a Girlfriend, and I've stumbled across Applebob's page. He's a big fan into these series, so I definitely felt like it was necessary for me to have him on the channel and for us to discuss our top 5 moments of Komi Can't Communicate. Applebob, I think today's the day.
Today is the day. If you're not in the Komi Can't Communicate, starting with chapter 1, it's phenomenal. But then, I'm not going to spoil the video for you, but some amazing moments are in the very first volume. I'm just going to say that. It's incredible. And if you already read it, you already know.
Exactly. So, I guess we should start the video off with, obviously, our 5th pick for our favorite scenes that we've come up together with on Komi Can't Communicate. And the 5th pick, and guys, we're going to give the chapters in the description as well, and we're going to give the chapters for each of these moments as well. That way you guys can actually go back and read them if you guys want to, just get a little refresher, or to see what we're talking about, or to see what volume it's in. And the first pick, well, the 5th pick would have to be Tadano claims to be Mom Bagi's boyfriend, chapter 165.
Man, this chapter, when I first read it, was so cool. There's a term, you know, a Chadley man, somebody who just gets all the girls. He's just amazing. He's just perfect. And there's something about Tadano that gives us that vibe from him in this chapter. He stands up, like there's this dude. They're a bunch of kind of just like losers sitting on the beach. They want to talk to girls and they're not moving anywhere. They're sitting looking like little girls on the beach, even though they're trying to be real men. They don't have the confidence to talk to basically any woman that comes anywhere near them. But then for whatever reason, one of them has the balls to go talk to Mom Bagi when she walks by. But the dude doesn't know how to talk to women. He's very forceful and basically just wants to make her talk to him and all this type of stuff. But Tadano notices this and he's like, well, do you have a boyfriend? Because if you don't have a boyfriend, I'll be your boyfriend. And Tadano's like, yes, I am her boyfriend. So can you let go?
Oh, this is the volume right here, or this is the chapter right here. I was like, you know what, Tadano, he's already one of my favorite characters. But the Chadley points that he earns in this moment to step up to these dudes that he does not know, because if you read the manga, he has some Chadley moments. He has some moments where he takes the initiative, but sometimes he likes to back down from that. But this is one of the moments where Tadano makes a decision and he does not back down from what he says, even though we know that he is not Mambagi's boyfriend. But to protect one of his friends, even though she acts like the tsundere character towards him, he stands up for her and even claims to be her boyfriend. I thought that this move was fantastic on Tadano's part, because like I said, I never expected something like this from Tadano, but this is reasons why I do love Tadano, because he always comes out and he always shows out when it's appropriate for him.
Speaking about not expecting it, I didn't expect it even a little bit. Like, I was like, dang. I thought it would have been Katai. I mean, Katai-kun did come up over there with his big muscles and end up having them run away. But you would have expected like a funny thing from Katai and it not be like a serious moment. But no, Tadano stepped up to the plate. Like he was out here declaring that this is my friend, I'm gonna protect her. And then we see her reaction later on in the chapter. I mean, look at her face right here at the very, very end. Her like realizing what happened. She's so adorable right here. She's just so adorable right here. Like, what did you think about her face? Like, when she realized, like, what happened, Chase?
Well, see, Apple Bob, you can't ask me something like that, because I am a gal connoisseur. I love my gal characters, especially in these rom-coms. So, of course, I'm going to see Mom Bagi in this aspect where I already see her as cute. But when I see the face, I'm like, come on, dog. You can't do that to me. Mangaka, whoever made this, I gotta put the respect on his name or her name. You can't do this to your boy right now. I'm loving this right now. Like, I enjoy this.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful chapter.
Definitely. And I honestly didn't thinking of my top 5, this wasn't initially in it, but when I really looked back at it and you brought it up when we was discussing our top 5s, I had to put this in the top 5 moments, because these characters really do stand out, and these are some of my favorite characters within this chapter. And like I said in my video previously, if you haven't checked that out, link will be in the description down below. I love my gal characters. I think Komi, the moments in the Komi manga itself really stand out when they're outside of the school setting. There's some great moments in the school setting, but I feel like there's a lot of great moments outside of the school setting as well.
Yeah, I'm always one when it comes to manga. I love it when manga take you and go somewhere else and do something else in different settings, because it can get kind of repetitive. The same classroom, the same lampshade, the same teacher, the same students, everything like that. But when y'all go travel and going on festivals and trips and all this type of stuff, it's amazing, especially in Domestic Girlfriend. Man, their first trip, man, that was good.
And I've watched Domestic Girlfriend. I call this a nasty man anime, but I have watched Domestic Girlfriend. I love the first 12 episodes. I haven't read the manga, I'm pretty sure you've read the manga, and ooh,
Yeah, I caught up. It's a ride. It's a ride.
The first 12 episodes is spicy.
100% spice, man. Well, so what would you say our fourth moment is?
Our fourth moment has to be when Komi visits Tadano when he ends up being sick from the little virus that they was having in their actual classroom. That moment right there, I was like, I didn't expect this, but like I said, I love any type of settings coming out of the classroom. Anytime that they're outside the classroom, this is when I feel like the characters really flourish, because they're not confined by the boundaries of school. They ain't having to be in the classroom. They actually get to move around, be themselves, and you get to see a look at them outside of the classroom. And plus, half the time, all the students aren't there, so that pressure of all the students looking at them really isn't there. So when Komi actually visits Tadano while he's sick, oh man, I did not expect Komi to do what she did. And Komi be knowing what she doing. She might not be able to communicate well, but her feelings are definitely communicated through this chapter right here, because whew, come on.
And the way that it happened was just phenomenal. So, obviously Tadano's best friends with Najimi, and he's thinking, oh my gosh, let me just call Najimi because I don't want to bother anyone else with it. So he calls Najimi, all sick, and he's not in his completely right mind, and then it turns he tries to call Najimi, but he accidentally calls Komi herself, and she didn't say anything on the phone if you look at the text, but she's just like, wait, no, backtrack, no, it's fine, I'm just calling Najimi, it's fine, but he can't basically speak, and Komi's like, this is my chance. And she goes over there, and she's so sweet. And Tadano's just thinking in his mind, there's no way Komi will talk to me or help me. There's no way. I told her not to. And when he opens the door and we see Komi, I about fell out of my chair when I saw this for the first time. I mean, Chase, what did you think when he opened the door, thinking Najimi? Oh, just Najimi, it's fine. She's not gonna come. And then it's Komi.
When they threw that at me, I honestly thought it was a little bit of a curveball, because like you said, I didn't think Komi was gonna come, but when she was at the door, I'm like, Komi is about it, and you really see what Komi feels, which we're gonna talk about later in our first pick of our top 5 moments. But it kind of calls back to what Komi told Tadano what to do in our first scene that we picked. She's actually doing it for him now, and it's really surprising to see Komi actually, come over, nurse her friend back to health, and come on, checking his temperature. Come on, Komi, you wasn't doing that. Come on, don't lie to us.
And then that scene where, you talking about when she put his hand on his hand? Oh, that was. Look at this panel, y'all. Look at this panel. How beautiful. Beautiful it is. And honestly, here's another thing about this manga, the author that I like. When Najimi comes in, it doesn't feel like it's a moment that's ruined, because that's Najimi's character. She always just ruins stuff, and it's funny. He's funny. He's established himself as a funny chapters in the previous 98 chapters. So I wasn't mad when Najimi, she just barges in. I wasn't mad at all. I was just like, oh, that makes sense. And then Komi's cute response, author, you did it. You're amazing.
I think that this chapter was amazing. I think the resolution after this chapter, when Komi tries to play cover-up of the whole situation, was even more hilarious. I just think that scene, just the whole Komi coming to nurse Tadano, we actually see how sweet Komi really is. We already know she's sweet, but to actually see it applied, I think that was phenomenal. And like you were saying, it's not really a fun chapter without some Najimi action happening. So you kind of expect for her to come through at some point. You just don't know when, but you know it's going to be the most inconvenient time, and especially when people are doing things that I guess wouldn't be seen in the public eye, because a lot of the moments that happen, they kind of happen while people are in private. Then Najimi just busts in, kind of throws the whole mood off. So I think that Najimi coming in was definitely hilarious. She's one of my favorite characters.
Honestly, Najimi may be my favorite character.
I can't fault you for that. I gotta respect you. A character analysis.
A character analysis of Najimi may be something that I look into.
Okay.
Look, that's how much I be liking Najimi.
I'm not gonna lie, Najimi is one of my favorite characters. I thought she was gonna be a character that I really wasn't gonna like. She was a little too talkative. She had too many friends. She was too sociable. She was literally the polar opposite of Komi. But the manga just makes you love Najimi so much. I just don't know how. I don't know how.
Guess the next chapter.
Our third pick is gonna have to be When Komi Apologizes to Rei, chapter 172. Now, I literally just read this volume this morning, the day that we're recording this video, and Apple Bob, he told me when we made our top fives, he was like, there's another moment that you're missing, but you haven't hit that moment yet. And I was like, whoa, I'm like, what's he talking about? He's like, you need to read that volume before we do that video. So I read the volume, and just the whole beginning of volume 13. I'm like, okay, what moment is he talking about? He says I'm gonna know it. Once I hit the moment, I knew it. I was like, oh, no. I'm like, what? I'm like, what you? I was looking at them. Look, I'm thinking about the manga. I'm like, yo, what you trying to? What you trying to get me in my feels for, man? What you trying to get into, man? Why you trying to make me cry? Don't make Komi cry. But the feeling of when Rei left off, because Rei is this child who's moved around a lot. She doesn't have that many friends to her understanding, but Komi kind of puts everything into perspective, telling her like, yo, you have a lot of friends. I mean, obviously Komi doesn't say yo, but she was like, yo, you have a lot of friends. Like, like people want to be your friends, but you kind of standoffish. Komi doesn't reveal that, but Rei comes to the realization that she is being standoffish when all these people around her, especially Komi's friends, when they come looking for her, they was like, yo, these people all came looking for me because I ran off and I was standoffish to this one girl who's really trying to bond with me, be close with me, and be my friend all this time. So I really love this chapter when Komi apologizes, because Komi has no reason to apologize, but she still apologizes. And I'm like, oh, that's a good character right there. And we already know Komi's insecure, so she already feels like she already done something wrong as it is. But to see Rei, a little kid, really acknowledge what she's done and to really acknowledge what's happening around her, have that perspective, I was like, all right, this has to be that moment right here. This has to make the top 5 right here, because this is such a great chapter.
One thing I want to point out is when Komi sees Rei for the first time after she's run away, and Najimi is bringing Rei back, and Tadano as well, the look on her face is, I mean, she looks like a mother. She looks like she just has unconditional love for Rei, and this pose and her look and how she runs towards her so quickly and bows to her and then gets down on her level and talks to her like she's an equal, to level with her, to really try to understand this young girl who's run away. The love that's being exchanged between these two is so beautiful. And it is a perfect picture of someone who really, really, really loves you, trying to understand you. And that is a theme you'll see through Komi Can't Communicate. Understanding. It's a big theme here. And it is demonstrated so beautifully in chapter 172.
Definitely. I think that while Komi can communicate, she definitely learns how to communicate. She definitely helps others around her learn how to communicate better. Just like I was saying with Rei, she learns to have like a little more perspective on the situation of her, moving around a lot, not having friends, and, finally seeing and opening herself up from being standoffish from everybody. So you're hitting it right on the nail, Apple Bob. I'm not going to lie to you. But we got to get to our top 2, because we already hit our top 3. Now it's time for the deciding top 2. And the top 2, those were solidified before we even really got further down the list. These were the 2 we initially first came up with when coming up with this list. Like, this was solidified. Nothing is beating this. I don't even know if a chapter further along could really overpower these chapters right here when it comes to terms of a better chapter. But the second one, I don't know. Maybe the second one.
Our top pick, I think, may. But as far as the rest of the top 5, there's some stuff coming. There's some stuff coming.
Definitely. I'm talking about just top 2. Really top 1. Ain't nothing coming over that top 1 moment when you look over the whole
I've caught up, and I don't know if there's something over our top 1. I'm sorry. I love Komi Can't Communicate, but just as a principle of what Komi Can't Communicate represents. So it's like our top pick is like a root, okay? And we have some super strong branches coming out of the theme and the character and the heart of Komi Can't Communicate. But it all starts at our top pick. It all starts there.
Yeah, but we still got the second pick. And if you guys haven't already, I already got to do this because you know I'm a YouTuber. Smash that like button if you haven't already. I know some of y'all might think it might cost something. I don't know. But go ahead and hit that like button for your boys right now. But number 2 is going to have to be Tadano and Komi's field trip phone call. Oh my God. I was reading this late at night and I dang near screamed out my chair. I didn't want to wake up my girlfriend because she was sleeping. But I went straight into my Discord, Apple Bob, after I read that chapter. I was like, yo, chapter 103, jaw dropping. I was like, yo. And you got to think 103 compared to the chapters up to then. So when I hit 103, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's this? Komi opening up? Which
I might have cried because it wasn't. She just doesn't do that. Like,
I felt a skip in my heartbeat because I was like, yo, because like I said in my review too, Komi always talks unexpectedly, like you never see it coming. And I didn't expect, and I think the one thing is, like I was saying earlier, Tadano, one of my favorite characters, and the one thing that I do love about Tadano is that he is the best person to be able to read Komi. So literally throughout that whole chapter, Komi is not communicating as much as she usually does with her friend group, and Tadano kind of sees that, but Tadano confronts her about it after Najimi leaves. So he doesn't put her out on blast because he knows how Komi is. He doesn't want to, like, you know, embarrass her or anything, but he literally stops her and says, yo, are you good? He was like, and then, you know, Komi says, yeah, you know, I'm all right. And then Tadano says something great to me, where he was like, you know, if you want to talk about it, you can. He was like, even if it's not fixed, he was like, maybe talking about it might make you feel better about the situation. Oh, and Komi takes Tadano's advice. Oh, man.
And he walks away, and they're like, all right, it's time to go. And then they part ways. And then Komi calls him. And you mind if I read what he actually says? Or she
go
actually
ahead.
says?
Please.
She says, truth is... Because before, she was saying, oh, I'm fine. It's all right. It's good. I'm all good. She calls him and says, truth is, I've never been to Kyoto. Truth is, I'm not okay. Oh, the truth hits me every time. Because honesty in my real life too, like you talking about Bob real life, you know, what he honestly values. Like, I value honesty so much. And for her to take the initiative to be honest about something that's hard to talk about, that's beautiful. That's like perfect pizza made in Italy, man. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. Jaw-dropping, just like Chase said.
I love this scene. I loved it. And I love the way the resolution from this chapter hits, with Komi initially not wanting to go. And if Tadano wouldn't have, like, you know, kind of called her out and like, yo, like, what's wrong with you? If they would have never had that dialogue, we would have never got the field trip arc, as I like to call it, with them going to Kyoto. So I really think that Tadano is a pivotal friend for her to have. And it kind of leads me into our first pick almost, of what Komi said to Tadano and what she wants Tadano to do for her. And we got to talk about the number 1 pick for top 5 moments. And man, I've discussed this in my review already, or my thoughts of Komi Can't Communicate. And I cannot believe how much of an imbecile I am for sleeping on such a great moment like this, especially when you look at it in retrospect. I'm like, yo, what was wrong with me? Was I heartless or what? Like, I don't know. I might have been coming off the Berserk hype. I don't know. But when we look at our number 1 pick, when it comes to chapter 5/6, the first time Tadano and Komi actually communicate with each other in an extensive amount of time as well. The blackboard scene, as I like to call it. I can't express how much I love this scene, especially rereading it for this video right here. Oh, Apple Bob. Oh my God. Just thinking about it makes me tear up, especially what Komi says to Tadano at the end. But I'm gonna let you get your piece off first before I, discuss what she says at the end. And oh my God, it's amazing.
The part that really hits me, and I really should start a little bit earlier than this. So basically, I'll just let you know what happens in this scene. The blackboard scene is essentially a scene where we have Komi and Tadano. Well, Tadano's wondering what's so different about Komi. Like, what's so odd about her? Why is she not able to really speak? He has these presumptions about her. He thinks he knows kind of what she's like. She's this goddess. She's this diva. She's perfect. Everyone thinks that she thinks that everyone is beneath her and all this type of stuff. And that's kind of how she's drawn. That's kind of how the character is shown to us in the beginning. But that's just everyone's perception of her. And during this blackboard scene, she slowly reveals to us what her insecurities are and what she really wants to do. She really wants to make friends. She's just like this sad and lonely girl who's trying to be social like everyone else. And having that be communicated, I think, is something that can be very difficult, because a lot of times in life, we can make assumptions about people based on very few pieces of information. And we feel like we know everything. But this just like shatters the idea of having stereotypes about people, because we don't know what they're dealing with. We don't know what they're struggling with. She just goes on and on and on and on and on about the truth of her life, which is that she's extremely lonely and she doesn't know how to communicate. She gets super anxious and she wonders what everyone thinks about her, and she's super insecure. And Tadano, during most of this scene, at least in chapter 5, isn't saying much. He's taking it in. He's truly listening. And this is a trait that I have tried to practice. Like, I want to be like Tadano and how good he is at listening. He's so good at listening to other people and not assuming things and really picking up on who they are and what they want. And then here is the line that stands out to me the absolute most of chapter 5 and 6. I mean, I just absolutely love it. Tadano says, "Komi-san is not the school Madonna, nor a cool, silent type beauty. This girl is just a normal girl." Growing up, I used to put people on pedestals. And this scene showed me that women are people too. We're different and we don't understand all the time, but it was just so cool to just like see that barrier, that wall of just like the photoshopped version of the person being exposed voluntarily by someone who needs a friend. And what better friend can you get than Tadano, man? Chase, can you give me some on that?
Look. While you were speaking about this, I had a thought in my head, and I really got to praise the mangaka, because first of all, like I said, Tadano, yes sir, because every time I see Tadano do something, that's literally, I put the book down and I just get to clap. I'm like, yes sir. But when it comes to Komi, and we know the name of the series, Komi Can't Communicate, we want to know how she can't communicate. But I think that the mangaka did this masterfully at the beginning of the manga by us seeing Komi through Tadano's eyes. We don't really get to see what Komi thinks until that actual scene. So the way that they actually play Komi up from the beginning of the manga to that part, chapter 5 and 6, we think that Komi is that character. We think that Komi is that goddess that everyone's putting her up on a pedestal of. We think highly of Komi as well, because that's all the information we're giving about Komi, and we really don't see her say anything or communicate to others. So that notion is really helped and enforced upon us at the beginning of the manga. But until that scene where she actually begins to open up and you see Komi kind of get emotional, oh my god. And then when they end that little mini scene up at the end of the blackboard scene, when she tells Tadano, "Please take care of me."
Talk about tears.
Oh, keep going. Oh,
Talk about tears, bro. Talk about some high emotion. She's basically saying, please take care of my life, my social life, this big part of my upbringing. Like, please watch over me. Please take care of me. Having this goddess who's perfect at everything. Entrusting this, as the author says, completely plain guy. And the dude thinks he's a plain guy. He's like, I'm just Tadano. I'm average height. I'm average intelligence. I'm average at everything. There's no way this woman would even talk to me. And yet, here she is, playing her cards, showing who she really is, and trusting this person who's so good at listening and does care about her with her own well-being. That's special. That is so valuable. And that's the power of this scene, in my opinion.
This scene it's amazing. I have no other words. To me, from the rom-coms that I have seen, this is one of the most, I'm not saying it is the most, it is one of the most emotional scenes that I've probably gotten. And to really have a callback to that. And if you go read chapter all the way up to 170 like I am, to see where Komi started off at and to see where she is now, oh man, that scene resonates every single time. And we really get to see how Komi basically grows as a social person throughout this whole series. And honestly, I think
Also, just wait till the 250s, 260s. Komi has another moment that's she talk about standing up, talk about doing something. She really out here, man. That was powerful. So yeah, you have a lot to look forward to.
Oh, but all right, guys, that is our top 5 moments of Komi Can't Communicate. Now, obviously, Apple Bob has way more because he is way caught up, and I'm pretty sure you guys in the comment section as well, or you guys that are viewers, also have way more. Please do your best to not spoil anybody in the comment section. We know that these aren't the best because, like I said, he's further ahead than I am. I'm just up to volume 13, but these are definitely the top 5 moments up to volume 13. I think that these are phenomenal. Now, I would love for you guys to comment your top 5 moments of Komi Can't Communicate if you are reading the manga, or by the time this video comes out and you watch it, are watching the anime. Go ahead, sound off in the comment section down below. Apple Bob, I gotta say thank you for collaborating with me on this video. I've been looking forward to it, especially ever since I found your content on the type of stuff that you do, really the rom-com series. Things like Kaguya-san, Rent a Girlfriend, Komi Can't Communicate. Oh, I just have to say it's a wonderful time to be able to discuss Komi Can't Communicate with you. And I gotta say thank you for going ahead and collaborating with me.
Thank you so much, Chase. It's been a real pleasure being able to collaborate with you. You're an awesome person. You are an awesome YouTube personality, but also you're like a friend to me now. And I'm really glad that you're in my life and you're able to be on my YouTube channel. It's, you know, it goes both ways. I appreciate you, man. This was super, super fun. And it's not every day I get a chance to talk on video with somebody who loves Komi Can't Communicate as much as I do, or even more than I do. So it's super awesome talking about Komi. Also, guys, I do reactions to Komi Can't Communicate. They're going to be coming out pretty regularly now. So if you check my channel, Apple Bob, and you're reading Komi Can't Communicate, feel free to see my reactions to some of the different moments and even come in for some reviews from time to time. I'll be doing some character analysis and stuff like that. I love the series. And man, we gonna be going in on some topics, you know what I'm saying? We really gonna be doing it.
Well, all right, guys, thank you guys for coming through. If you guys are new and you have not already, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, post notification bell, like the video, and don't forget to check out Apple Bob's channel as well in the description down below. All his links and all my links, as usual, will be in the description down below. Guys, I gotta say thank you guys for watching. Dark Sage out. Peace.